Hello, my name is Will, and this is Eulexia Languages. And today I want to talk about grammar. And if you don't know, I think grammar is really important, and I think you need to master the grammatical forms like as soon as possible in order to really get into the good stuff, in order to get into that immersion, but not before. But the question is, how do we do it? Is it useful to study grammar rules and all the terminology that is attendant? And is it necessary to memorize conjugation tables? I think those are not very helpful, and I'm a big advocate of the bilingual method. So in order to see the different forms that you have within grammar and then compare them to our own in English. And the ways that they accord and the ways that they don't accord are both equally useful. And if you have a good bilingual method that gives you transparency of the forms as well as the words and the absolute clear meanings of those words and the idiomatic forms, that is the best possible way. But I want to take a look at how some of our grammatical knowledge might lead to some misapprehensions and what we can do about that and why it's actually useful. So let's start off with some incorrect grammar, by the way. This is all incorrect French that I have on the board. So the first sentence I want to look at in English, imagine that you're at a wood stove or something and you burn your finger. You would say, I burned my finger. And you might imagine that because we say that, it's the present, you are past tense, like you burned your finger and now you're in pain. In English, we express that with our past tense. And so you might imagine that you say, j'ai brûlé mon doigt. You already know that in French, they don't use a preterite. They just use the have burned, the have plus the past participle. Again, the terminology is not important, but j'ai brûlé mon doigt. And then, okay, so this is just a direct translation. Let's take a look at the actual French and how we've been misapprehended and why that's useful. In French, you actually say, when you burn your finger, you say, je me brûle le doigt. Je me brûle le doigt. And so here, a couple things you might notice first is that my finger is translated as the finger. We can get to why that is in a moment. But we also might notice that burned now is translated as brûle, which is present tense. I burn. And we also might notice here that we have a reflexive pronoun. So here we're saying, actually, I burn myself the finger. I burn myself the finger. Now, why is it that we express this in the past in English and they express it in the present in French? Well, why is up for debate, but it tends to be that when an event happens and the event that happened preceding the moment that is happening now, that these are kind of simultaneous and that one leads to the present state of the other, that they actually just pronounce this, articulate this with the present tense. Another thing to notice here is that in French, they use je me brûle, I burn myself. Now, looking at, say, ancient Greek had something called a middle voice. I think ancient Greek did. Maybe it's a different language, but there was a middle voice. And what this middle voice means is that when you do something by means of another thing, we tend to just say in English, like, I baked the cake or I burned my finger. But you didn't actually burn your finger and you didn't bake that cake. The oven baked the cake and the wood stove burned your finger. And so in certain languages, that middle voice needs to be expressed within the grammar. In French, they kind of have that. And so here, je me brûle le doigt is what I would call the middle voice in French. And what it says is that I burned myself through means of another thing. And they just use the reflexive here. Je me brûle. And then because we've already said I burned myself, we don't need to say my finger. Who else's finger would I have burned, myself? So it'd only be I burned myself the finger in French. Je me brûle le doigt. Now, this is now structurally very clear to us. We have a present tense, and maybe even we could talk about the middle voice, and then also why it is that they prefer the le doigt as opposed to mon doigt. It would be in French a bit redundant to say I burn myself my finger. Okay, I burn myself the finger is the way it's done. And we can expand this out into other forms as far as the middle voice. You could see examples like I brush my teeth in French is not je brosse mes dents, but je me brosse les dents. I brush myself the teeth. Instead of I brush my teeth, I brush myself the teeth. I'm brushing my teeth by means of something else, which I'm not going to mention, but I'm going to be nice enough to put it into this middle voice. All right, now let's take a look at another. I've had enough. I've had enough. Here we have this perfective kind of thing. I hate grammar as much as anybody else, and so the terminology kind of escapes me. But I've had enough. Here we might assume because I have, j'ai, had, enough, assez, j'ai eu assez. In fact, that's incorrect French, which is why it's in the red. The correct French would be j'en ai assez, j'en ai assez. A very idiomatic phrase. I've had enough. But what it really means is I of it have enough. I have enough of it. I have enough of it. The condition of having enough is not, well, if you say I've had enough, it means that that thing is happening currently right now, okay? It's not in the past. So if you say like I have been, or I've been speaking, or all those things are still currently happening. I've been speaking French for 3 years. That's not in the past. That's happening right now. So in French, they just say it in the present. So here again, j'en ai assez. I of it have enough. I have enough of it. And that's how we express that idea. Let's move on. I've been here for 2 hours. Here again, we have that I've been thing, okay? Or I've been speaking, whatever it is. But I've been here means I am here. I'm still here. So why don't we just say that in French? I am here for 2 hours. So, j'ai été ici pour 2 heures is actually incorrect. Translating it word for word, j'ai été, I have been, ici, here, pour 2 heures, for 2 hours, doesn't work, and the actual translation of it would be, I am here since 2 hours. Je suis ici depuis 2 heures. So again, because it's happening right now, and we don't need to talk about the perfective, whatever that does, we can see the structure and how it's presented in English. I am here since 2 hours. Okay, je suis ici depuis 2 heures. And, okay. Now let's take a look at I just saw him. So here we have a pretty easy construction in English, I just, and we can even say just in French. They use the same word, juste, in order to talk about, only. Okay, juste kind of means only in the same way just does. But then we talk about the preterite, which doesn't exist in French. Instead, the preterite is expressed as I have seen. Instead of I saw, I have seen, unless we're talking about the historic past, which you don't use in the spoken language. But I just saw him. You might think of this as je l'ai juste vu. I, him, have just seen. But in fact, in French, the way they expressed I just is very often, the best way to express it is viens de or venir de. Venir de expresses what just means in English. So in order to say I just saw him, you say I come from to see him, or I come from him to see. Which is in the present tense. And this present tense gives us the access to the immediate past, the event that just occurred. And again, it's in the same way I just burned my finger. We have I just saw him is something that it may have happened recently in the past, but it's somewhat simultaneous, and the effect is still occurring in the present. So you use the present tense. Je viens de le voir. Je viens de, I just, le voir. To see him. I just to see him. Or je viens de le voir, a more literal translation, which will also help us clarify. Because of the weirdness in English, the literal translation will clarify the structure of the French. Je viens de, I come from, le, him, voir, to see. I come from him to see, is how we would say I just saw him. So I hope this was interesting to you and maybe useful. We can apply this in a lot of different things. This is just a little lesson, and it assumes that you have some knowledge of the French already. But if you are struggling with learning grammar and how to apply it and becoming fluent in it, I'd say a lot of the problems that you might face is that you're studying in a traditional, I don't want to say traditional, a more modern grammar translation method, which I don't think in itself is terrible, but it's not the best way. You've learned to speak your language and you have a profound understanding of it, whether you know how to say what you understand. You have a profound implicit knowledge of the English, and we can use that and the neural wiring that you have already in order to express this new language and see how it compares. And it's a real useful way of doing it, and I think the best way as far as learning grammar and learning it from right from the beginning. So I would love to see your questions, comments, concerns. Throw them right into the comment section, and if you want to throw a like on there or a subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Have a great day, and salut!